What is going on, family? How is everybody doing? I hope you all are having, look, a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful new year. Came in just a little bit early because I know y'all have plans. Somebody has got to soak the black-eyed peas and do everything else that's got to be done. Listen. So came in just a little bit early because, and I did a YouTube show because I haven't really been on YouTube like that. So I thought it would be a good time to just kind of come in and talk about some stuff. Really just some winners and losers of this last year. Some of which I guess you can guess. Y'all see all that stuff going on with the H-1Bs? Ooh, it is something. Ooh. But we're going to get into it. We ain't got to be here forever, but we got to have the conversation like we always do. Couldn't let the new year go out without coming on YouTube and talking to y'all. I've been talking to Patreon. This is actually a part 2 because I did Patreon part 1. People are like, where's the part 1? No, the part 1 is on Patreon. So this is actually a part. This is a part 2. We're going to focus. We focus a lot on the losers on part 1 on Patreon. Today, I think we're going to focus on some of the winners, but we got to talk about what we got to talk about, okay? We just got to talk about. So let me just put this thing in preview mode, and we're going to get to it. Happy New Year, everybody. It ain't here yet, but Happy New Year's Eve. Please be safe. If you decide to go outside, please be safe. Don't go out there and be unsafe. It's too much going on. Just please, please, please try to be safe. So I want to get to one of the big winners. One of the big winners this actual year was actually the American flag. Let's get to one of the big winners. People been running us around telling us, oh, the flag is child, it's just who we are. It doesn't matter. We're not saying that the problems don't exist. The flag is the flag, though, and that's our flag. And we're not saying that flag ain't responsible for a bunch of stuff. Nobody knows that better than us. But the flag is the flag, and people got very confused and discombobulated when Beyonce had the flag and they didn't know what to do. Beyonce, no. And then that left us and everybody else pointing out that there's a bunch of artists and people, your other favorites that you had no problem with when they had the flag. Muhammad Ali, Outkast, everybody been in front of a flag. So what you doing? Why you were just messing with ADOS? So the flag had a very good year because Beyonce did not back down with that flag, and she stayed her course in her country music, and people did not know what to do with her or what to do with the Beehive. Because the Beehive will mess you up. I don't mess with the Beehive like that. They will mess you up. Okay, so the flag, ladies and gentlemen, the flag had a very, very good year. But before I even get to the flag, not before, but like before I move away from the flag, before I go on to something else, I want to give a shout out to the person who brought us into this year. I don't even know if I have a picture, but this year was kicked off with a bang. I don't think y'all remember in January, that's what the old folks say, in January, Cat Williams kicked things off. And it was a great beginning of the year kind of kickoff. He said, listen, this is going to be the year of truth. It's going to be a lot of reveals, a lot of big deviance is going to be revealed. He said it's God's side and the other side. And I'd be doggone if that don't feel prophetic. We done seen Diddy go down. We done seen everybody. We done seen all kind of lawsuits. We done seen all kind of degeneracy, which, hey, I told y'all it was all degenerate. Oh, Yvette, you just a hater. You ought to be ashamed of yourself hating so hard on these nice Negro folk. These people, you just a hater. Turns out it's alleged he was putting horse tranquilizing people's stuff and diddling them and doing other stuff while they was out. Allegedly. Leave me alone. So, ladies and gentlemen, we should give a prize to Cat Williams for kicking off the year of truth. And I don't think it's over. I think 2025 is going to be a year of truth as well. All will be revealed. So shout out to Cat. He's a winner. He's one of our biggest winners of the year for having that prophetic kind of vision. I don't know how fast you can run a 100. I do not know. But you deserve something for this. I don't know if you gave no advice to Steph Curry. I do not know. But you deserve some credit for framing the year for what ended up happening. That's actually what happened. Who would have expected it, ladies and gentlemen? Who would have expected it? And if y'all want to come in at some point and talk about who your faves and your worst were, please do that. But who would have expected it? Now, when we talk about winners, you got to talk about money. You got to talk a little bit about who became wealthy. We know that we became poorer. We become poorer every year. And Negroes are still doing whatever they do and not getting down to business and brass tacks. But I have to give a shout out if I'm talking about the winners. What is going on? I did not ask you to pop up. If I'm talking about the winners of 2024, I have to talk about the white folk who ran Kamala's campaign. I'm talking about the ones who got paid. I'm not talking about the ones who ran it into the ground. Well, they did that too. It was all the same, but they got paid. Black operatives furious over how Kamala Harris's campaign is spending money. The white folk got that money right back. And now they somewhat sitting pretty. Shout out to y'all because y'all still won. We had an Indian, Jamaican candidate, but y'all white folk, y'all win every time. No matter who is the candidate, y'all managed to win. Y'all pull it off, and y'all pulled it off again. So shout out to y'all. Let me just put this up for a second. Derrick Johnson, the president of the NAACP, was frustrated after a call. This is back during the campaign with Kamala Harris's campaign last month. He and others on the call felt they hadn't gotten a clear answer to something that had mystified leaders in Congress, co-chairs of the campaign, and donors. Why did it seem like minority-owned political firms that typically work with Democratic campaigns aren't getting so much of the record-breaking Harris campaign money as white-owned firms? White people, you made money again. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for the whites in politics. They did it again, yet again. If black voters are the base, it should be black vendors telling the story, said one person familiar with the conversation. With the conversation with the nonpartisan group's leader. And by the time the call finished, we still didn't have any clear answer. And you never did. You never got a clear answer about how the money was being spent. It went to white liberals, and you were out there trying to get out the vote and vote blue no matter who. And so shout out, the whites won again in terms of the liberals. They took people had blackity, blackity, black. Kamala, say you're black. She's a black woman like me. Blackity, blackity, black. But who got the money, ladies and gentlemen? It was the whites. It was a redistribution of wealth. That's why I'm happy I didn't donate nothing. I ain't never donated. I haven't donated nothing in years. But I'm so happy because why would I give money just to go for it to go in white pockets? I mean, we don't have much anyway. So why would I be like giving money? Child, you're not even going to put that back into ADOS firms. I'm child. But y'all did it. Y'all know y'all did it. Y'all got that money to come right back. Amazing. It's amazing. And that's one of the winners. You got to call a winner for what a winner is. That's a winner. We got some winners in here. I got to give it, even though all of this didn't happen and transpired as year live, the controversy did. So give it up to one of the winners, Mr. J. Morrison. Give it up. he still ain't faced no accountability. He got all of the money from the dummies. He got all of the money from the stupid people, and who I said, hey, don't do that. It's not gonna work. It's just a scam. It's a con. You got against black men and you're just negative. And now he living his best life with your money. Listen, if you can get away with that, that's quite the win, sir. That's quite the win. If you can just snatch 10, 12, $13 million away from Negroes and run off and say, I was doing the best I could do. I don't know. You won the lottery off of people who didn't understand nothing. Shout out to you, because that's a win for you. It's a loss for the community, but for you, you won, because nobody even talking about you no more, and you skated away with $10, $12 million off of some Black Wall Street stuff that you never intended to do, you never had the capacity to do. You didn't graduate high school. I don't know if you graduated middle school, but here we are. Shout out to you. No accountability, living your best life. Shout out to you, because you have scammed these Negroes. I tried to prevent the scam, but what happened is what happened. So we are where we are. Nothing I can do about it. That's a loser. So I'm not going to do the losers just yet. So let me come down here really quickly. It's a lot of stuff going on. But let me shout out another one of the winners. Hey, shout out to Charlamagne. Charlamagne does not know politics. He is not the brightest guy in the world. He played both sides this election. What do you mean play both sides? Child, he cursed out Democrats talking about y'all ain't doing it right and you gotta take the black vote, mimicking us. And then he told Republicans, y'all didn't seem to and somehow he keep getting invited to TV and trying to sell that little stupid book he got. Child, he keep bringing out little stupid ghost written books. So he won because people is crazy. Listen, he's been trying to put himself in the political lane with zero knowledge for a very long time, but he won because people kept putting him on TV. I don't know how that little book did. Did anybody know how that little book he put out did? It had 105 pages and they were colored. That's what the little book looked like. That's what anybody know how that little stupid book looked like? Where's his little ghostwriter? You know Charlamagne ain't writing that book. You know he ain't writing that book. But hey, they had him on TV talking about politics, even though he don't know nothing about politics. He won as an individual. See, look at what you're looking at. A lot of the times these people win, we lose. Because he's on TV, you can't have somebody that actually knows politics on TV. You just have this man who talks to like rappers all day, right? And trolls rappers. Now he's on TV. See? He won individually. As a community, we lost because there was nobody serious. There should have been somebody serious in his spot talking about politics, talking about ADOS politics, somebody who understands history, not somebody who's just a clown. But he won. We are who we are, so we let a man who calls himself Charlamagne the God win. But I will forever call him Leonard. That's the name your mama gave you. I'm not naming you no stuff you named yourself. You stupid. I'm not naming you that. We're not doing that. I just want to go, but let me go to one loser really quick. The Gatekeepers really lost hard. And I think I mentioned this the other night, but I'm going to mention it again. Y'all really lost hard because are you with me? Biden and Harris lunch, black voter outreach, and warn of second Trump term. Y'all lost so bad. Gatekeepers, y'all lost so bad. Like, I cannot discuss the level to which y'all lost. The gate is wide open. Ain't no more gatekeeper. The gate is wide open. The gate y'all was supposed to keep shut is open. Y'all lost. Everybody who was supposed to be responsible for get out the vote campaigns and stuff for Biden, y'all lost. And I think people who do that and give that money to you all should reassess who they're giving money to. Because it ain't you. And my whole thing is it has to be connected to a specific policy framework, specific agenda. And shout out, if we're talking about winners, those are losers. If we're talking about winners, I gotta shout out myself, and I gotta shout out ADOS. Right? Because the ADOS Advocacy Foundation, long after people said that we was dead, they gone. They dead. They ain't gonna never be able to do nothing no more. They gone. Child, we had a standing room only conference / summit, right? We had that. We have been outside in the streets doing learning sessions, trying to get people to understand reparations and the transformative Black agenda and why they have to be invested in politics. We have been doing that as well. We have been... Every season, every month, we have new chapters. We have been doing that as well. So shout out to ADOS. Shout out to, wait a minute, hold on. Because it ain't just the ADOS Advocacy Foundation no more. It's the ADOS Research Institute. It is the ADOS Empowerment Project. We have 3 nonprofits now. So shout out to us for keeping the mission, keeping it honest. Nobody getting paid. Ain't nobody grifting. Not $1 was made. Find somebody else that'll do that. Find somebody else that'll take in thousands of dollars and not take a salary and nobody take no money. Ooh, we won. So if I'm counting, listen, if we shouting winners, I want to shout out to everybody who is in the org, who is also in the chat. I want to shout out to y'all. Y'all won. And we had a great time. Oh, the people inside the org, we had a great time with all of y'all. But like the people in the org, we had a great time too. Because, you know, adversity creates stuff. Like when you have some kind of adversity, it creates a closeness and putting on a conference is a kind of adversity. So, you know, we had a we had a great time. But we did it. I know people were saying, "Oh, they're not gonna be pulled that off no more." I guess we shocked you. And I'm happy. I love Louisville. Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. And we'll probably go back there. But I really thought we needed to do it this way at this time to kind of prove to folk that, like, no, this is not just, we can do it on our own. Like, if we have to go to a conference and pay $200,000, we can do it. We can do it. So shout out to us and everything. Now, let's go to a loser real quick. I understand y'all didn't go to jail. And I'm happy because I don't want to see no Negro in jail. Honestly, I don't. But you Uhuru folks who got taken to trial for your relationship with Russians, and you were probably the reason we got called Russian bots. You were also one of the losers of this year. That red, black, and green scarf and all that is not going to save you. Losers for this year. I'm just saying, you all were one of the losers. We got called Russian just for y'all to get to be the ones to get prosecuted as well. And that's how people kept saying, "Oh, ADOS is gonna eventually get prosecuted for being Child, what you talking about? Who you talking to? I don't know no Russians, so I knew something else was going on, but I thought they just made it all up. Turns out there was a whole organization that got prosecuted for their relationship with Russians. It just wasn't us. And nobody wanted to talk about it. Nobody wanted to say, "We sorry, ADOS." It was them other people who was flying to Russia. I ain't even flown international in over a decade talking about Russia. Somebody could call me from phone and start talking Russian. I'll hang up. Let me see what else we got. It's some stuff in here. Hey, you already know Bloom. Ed Bloom, he won. Affirmative action. He got it taken out of here. The women, the black women who were because I don't know where they're from. They were giving grants to other black. We got that shut down. And even though this college stuff wasn't really about us, we're not even in college like that in any real numbers, right? And we certainly are not represented at the Ivy Leagues. At Harvard, we're represented so lowly that they gave themselves a name, called themselves the Descendants because there's so few of them. But if you want to beat up on somebody, just say, "It's the Negroes. They the ones got all the monies." Just say that. And you'll be all right. And that's what he did. And that's kind of how he was able to rally around it. He made it out to be whites and Asians versus Negroes and really ADOS. And we ain't even over there. What are you talking about? We ain't over there. But hey, if you mention us, and we're going to talk about this because this is part of the H-1B thing too. If you mention us and you say that we the problem, people unite. White, right, unite. They said ADOS. What, the American citizens of slavery? Them Negroes, yeah, stop them. And it becomes a problem. But he did what he set out to do. He won. And we're going to have to fight with that. That's just what it is. That's just what it is, fam. Where's the other one at? Oh, let me go back up here. This is probably the biggest winner of the year. Biggest winner of the year right here. Buyout. Elon Musk is the biggest winner of the year. White folk, let me talk to you. Come close. Hold my hand. Let me talk to y'all. Because I really want to talk to y'all. Because some of y'all, I still see you on the internet saying, "This is a problem. These are all just Democrats." No. These are all just liberals and leftists. No. There is no leftist who identifies with Elon Musk. I promise you that, for the most part. I promise you that. I promise you, white people, I promise you. No. You all have a problem thinking that billionaires and millionaires are always on your side. You view yourself as being a part of the oligarchy, even if you're not. And this is how you got scammed. Elon Musk says society must move on from the constant subject of racism. We all descended from slaves, but we all didn't bear the consequence of being descended from slaves. And I don't even think that's true, but the consequence of what blackness became in this country is very different. And I don't want to be preached to by a white South African. No, I'm not doing it. You don't get to say nothing to me. I don't care. I don't care if you got 100. I don't care if you got 2 trillion. You don't get to say nothing to me. But white folk got tricked. The white right got tricked. And this is because they are never willing to see rich people as their enemy. They are never willing to see, if he says, when he started saying, the same way Vivek Ramaswamy did, he started saying all this stuff. He came out saying, kill the civil rights movement. MLK was a dog, or whatever he said. You loved it. And so the people who are manipulating the white right know that, hey, all I got to do is come out and say some racist stuff about ADOS, and I'm in there. And this is how you got yourself played. You as a person who needs a job, all of you white folk who are railing against H-1B, and I'm with you, because my people need jobs too. All of you all who are railing against this, you got tricked because you're racist. Or you have racist inclinations. Because he came out and did all of this, or maybe that was you didn't like the gays and the trans. I understand that, but you cannot blind yourself to that. You cannot be blinded by your biases. Yes, culture wars. Yeah, I'll fight y'all in the street over some stuff later on. But economics is most important. And because he was all anti-woke and he was anti-ADOS and he was, I'm not down with the gays. I got a trans child. Y'all just said, well, yeah. The white right said, yeah, we love Elon. Yeah, but Elon don't love you. Elon never loved you. He told you he didn't love you. But because he was doing all that anti-woke stuff, y'all bought a hook, line, and sinker. So when he comes out now and says, y'all are stupid and y'all can't have no jobs because you silly little stupid white folk, you can't keep up, and now you're shocked. Oh, I can't believe Elon said that about us. We've always been okay with each other. They just started crying like, Well, how did you think this man who is a billionaire, you think he cares? You think somebody with that amount of money has a heart? And somebody said something to me on the Twitter. Well, I'm not jealous of the rich. Listen, I'm not either. I don't want to be a billionaire. I don't want to have a bunch of baby mamas and stuff like all the stuff Elon deals with, all the degeneracy. I don't want to be on ketamine either. I don't want none of that. I don't want to be a billionaire. Everybody thinks because you are critical of Elon, this is on the right, that you are jealous. I don't want to be him. If somebody came to me right now and said, would you switch lives with Elon? But you got to take all of his baggage. You got to take his ketamine stuff. You got to take all of the women he done had babies with. No, ain't no money worth that. Like, what's wrong with y'all? And the right has a fixation, and it's problematic, but it's a fixation with the rich. I don't know what you do about it, but that's how they fooled you. That's how they tricked you. They tricked you because you were all on Elon's, you know what? They tricked you. It's an easy trick. It's an easy trick. He tricked you. All he had to do was say woke stuff, and you will overlook the fact that he wants to replace American workers with H-1Bs, and you will overlook the fact that he wants to replace American workers with robots because he just said, I'm not in favor of the blacks. I'm not in favor of the gays or that was enough to trick you out of your slot. And he talked to you. Elon talked to y'all the way y'all talk to us. See, the problem is y'all just can't, you just stupid and the subtard. Just the way y'all talk to us. Ain't it funny how life happens? It really is. So let me just show you something else he wrote. He won this year though because he tricked a bunch of people. Because I am raising concerns about the flood of unvetted illegal immigrants overwhelming American cities, the press will often characterize me as anti-immigrant. As an immigrant myself, nothing could be further from the truth. I am much in favor of increased and expedited legal immigration for anyone who is talented, hardworking, and honest. He told you who he was, and y'all wasn't paying attention. It is bizarrely difficult and agonizingly slow to immigrate to the U.S. legally, but trivial and fast to enter illegally. He told y'all, listen, white folk, come close to me. Come close. Elon told you who he was, but you were so busy hating us and talking about what was going on in the schools and blah, blah, blah. You were so busy doing that you lost sight of the fact that this man is a plutocrat and a transnationalist who doesn't believe in nationalism or you. There's no white South African who comes to America and believes in Americans and American ability. That's why he told you who you was. He said you slow and slurred. It's stupid. Now, I don't believe that about me or you, but that's what he believes. And people say, oh, J.D. Vance is going to save us. How? J.D. Vance doesn't come from wealth. I said in the previous show, they probably kicked J.D. Vance in the butt and downstairs just to mock him. Like, you don't understand, these rich people is vicious. How he gonna save you? How does he even get reelected at this point, given his life? Not reelected, elected. Child. Elon told you who he was, but y'all are so ready, right-wing white folk, y'all are so ready to be racist against ADOS, and we don't got nothing. See, y'all was so ready to go and chase us. Yeah, the reverse discrimination, the blacks are taking over. The citizens of slavery are taking. No, we ain't took over nothing. But the people who were really coming in through the back door and taking over, you didn't even see them coming because you were so focused on us, and we ain't got nothing. The people who you need to be multi-generational Americans and fight with you wouldn't build a bridge with because you're racist. So you went over there and be like, they're new immigrants, they're better than you. And they said, screw you. This week, the people who you have always told us are better than us, they said to you, screw you. They told you about yourself. They told you were mediocre. They called you a mediocre white all week. And that's who you chose over ADOS. We've been said, hey, let's do this thing together. We just want to be equal. We never want to take over nobody. We just want to be equal. We want our rights. That's all we want. You owe us redress, reparations, but hey, we don't want to take over you. We view ourselves as American too. And y'all said, no, you want too much. Why you want so much? And we said, we don't want much. We still want to be. Now, you got to be more like immigrants. And the immigrants came in and said, guess what? You a mediocre white and we taking you over. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. You see, white folk, y'all got to learn from this. And if you won't learn, you're just damned. They will. If you won't learn from this, you got a choice to make. And I'm not going to tell you what the choice is. I'm not going to tell you what the choice is, but you have a choice between us and somebody else. Ain't no in-betweens, because if you believe that people who have contributed the most to America should get the most, that includes us. If you try to exclude us, you are going to get gutted. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm telling you how y'all got confused and how y'all got tricked. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. Y'all running around. See, the problem is these people are all Democrats. No, they're not Democrats. They're plutocrats. They're plutocrats. You don't know the difference between a Democrat and a plutocrat. No, you see, this is what the liberals do. No, let me just go to this real quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Because I put a quote up from it today, but I want to go find it real quick and just have a quick conversation about it if I can. This book was published in like 2013. This article was published in 2011. This article told you, white folk, because I've already talked about this. I talked about this a long time ago. But dear white folk, this article told you where America was heading a long time ago. America was not fundamentally changing in terms of labor because of the George Floyd riots, or even our Trayvon riots, which were legitimate. America was not fundamentally changing but that's where you focused at, and that's how they tricked you. America was going to fundamentally change because of the new global elite, and that's Elon. Elon always should have been your enemy, and you allowed him to be your friend because he was racist. He was homophobic too, but but all those are cultural issues. Cultural issues don't have anything to do with how you feed yourself. Cultural issues don't have anything to do with whether or not you have food in your belly at night. You all raged out over the cultural issues and you let Elon cook your goose. He manipulated you to the hill, and now he's coming to get what's his. He played you. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at your mama. Be mad at your daddy who taught you this dumb stuff. He played you. So let me just read this from this 2011. It's just 2024. F. Scott Fitzgerald was right when he declared the rich different from you and me. But today's super rich are also different from yesterday's more hardworking and meritocratic, but less connected to the nations that granted them opportunity and the countrymen they are leaving even further behind. Do you understand what she's saying? And if you haven't read Plutocrats, please go read it. She's saying that these people are not tied to the country. And Elon being from South Africa and then being over here in America lets you know he's not tied to a country. He's tied to wealth. He doesn't care about you. Y'all will retweet him and happy about him. Hey, guess what? He's snatching all them blue checks now. Y'all seen that? White folk, I don't care. You can snatch whatever you got. I don't care. You can snatch whatever you want. White folk is going around hollering, yee, yee, because the blue check got snatched. You didn't know he was going to snatch it. It's the same. Listen, it's the same ownership under a different name. This widening gap between the rich and non-rich has been evident for years. In a 2005 report to investors, for instance, three analysts at Citigroup advised that the world is dividing into two blocks, the Plutonomy and the rest. In the Plutonomy, there is no such animal as a U.S. consumer or UK consumer. Also U.S. or U.S. worker. They're not attached to countries anymore. If y'all had not been so racist and had actually been reading about what was happening, you would have known that Elon was not your friend. But you didn't. It's okay. Everybody gonna learn. There are rich consumers, few in number, but disproportionate in gigantic slice of income and consumption they take. There are the rest, the non-rich, the multitudinous, many, but only accounting for surprisingly small bites of the national pie. But let me say this before I go off too bad. On the right, y'all did a good job this past week. Y'all did a good job of going off on Trump. Now I'm gonna get to everything else that y'all are wrong about, but y'all did a good job this week of standing your ground. They did. I don't think the Democrats would have done that if Kamala had done something wrong and she wasn't even inaugurated yet. No, it wouldn't have happened. They've been going ham for at least it's the Christmas apocalypse. They've been going ham since Christmas. I ain't even get a chance to enjoy Christmas. I was on my phone like this. What? Then they was digging up data and all kinds of stuff. Hey, y'all did a good job. White folk, but before I go on with this article, let me have a minute with you. What white folk have to understand, and I'm going to get to the Plutonomy in a second, but what white folk really have to understand is this. If you need a job in this world, I don't care whether it's an engineering job or a trash collector job, you are not friends with a billionaire. They do not care. You do not get to $1 billion by caring about humans. Y'all have to take your movement back. What do you mean if they got to take the movement back? Well, MAGA got to take their movement back because right now they have a problem. You cannot have a movement that's led by a millionaire and you are a regular person. I understand why you voted for Trump. He was the only outlier out there. I get it. And I wish we could do something similar with Democrats. I do. I get it. But what I'm saying to you, white folk, is that you cannot expect to have a millionaire be the leader of a grassroots right-wing movement. You have to take that back, meaning that you have to select a leader of MAGA who is not Donald Trump, who will hold Donald Trump accountable but is not Donald Trump. That's all I'm saying. You cannot have millionaires and billionaires be your leaders. Trump is a millionaire. Musk is a billionaire. I told y'all in August when Trump was on the All In podcast with the millionaires and billionaires, he was kissing the ring and everybody looked at me like I was crazy. Or it just didn't retweet it. Child, it's not going to work. Listen, make America great again. That stuff you're doing is not going to work. You cannot have them be in charge of your movement. President Trump is now President Trump. He's in power. Power is not people. You have to have a people-driven movement. So y'all got to take MAGA back. If not, you can just be the Tea Party again and just fail. That's what it was. Tea Party failed. Occupy Wall Street failed. If you don't want to do it, you can just be the Tea Party again and fail. But no rich person is ever going to be the leader of a populist movement. I'm sorry. And certainly not a millionaire in power. No, it's not going to happen. You have to hold them accountable. And y'all have been doing a good job, but y'all got to select your own MAGA leadership. It ain't Trump. That's just me saying, that's just me giving my own little spiel. Let me go to something else from the article. In Plutonomy, there is no such animal. Okay, I said that part. I thought I went to a new one. I guess I didn't. Huh. Yeah. Yep. I thought I went to a new window. I guess I didn't. What is more relevant to our times, though, is that the rich of today are also different from the rich of yesterday. I had somebody tell me, another conservative, the rich have always come up with stuff and da-da-da. The rich, listen, not for us. I'm not even speaking to ADOS. I'm speaking to the rich are not, the rich of today for white folk are not even the rich of today from 40 years ago. White folk, y'all got to catch up. Time matters. These are not the same rich folk who started for you. Carnegie Mellon, because it was Andrew Carnegie. Rockefeller University. These are not the same rich folks, white people. White people. No, these are not the same rich folks. Get your stuff together. You're not thinking right. They're not there for you. Our light-speed, globally connected economy has led to the rise of a super elite that consists to a notable degree of first and second generation wealth, and its members are hardworking, highly educated, jet-setting, meritocrats. Remember that. We want a meritocracy. India has a caste. If you want a meritocracy, go fix India. It's not the time. And America's never been a meritocracy. America's a slaveocracy. You can be mad. You can be mad for me telling you the truth. People get mad at me for telling the truth all the time, but it is what it is. Elon Musk. America's always been a meritocracy. America's been a slaveocracy, and you ain't been here long enough to talk about America. Where do you really come from? Where do your people really come from? Because it ain't South Africa. And many of them, as a result, have an ambivalent attitude towards those of us who didn't succeed spectacularly. Perhaps the most noteworthy, they are becoming a trans-global community of peers who have more in common with one another than with their countrymen back home. Whether they maintain primary residences in New York, Hong Kong, Moscow, or Dubai, today's super rich are increasingly a nation unto themselves. Listen to what they're saying. They're saying that the rich, listen, people who love Elon Musk, he don't love you. He don't care about you. He will put you in a grinder, ground you to dust. He does not. These people have a nation unto themselves. They don't view themselves as American or South African or you know, I'm from the UK, I'm British. No, they are a community of multinational people. We learned this a long time ago. I really don't know what the right. Y'all are gonna lose this MAGA movement if y'all don't get it together. And I like the immigration part of what you did. You know, I like that part, and I like that y'all stand up, but y'all gonna lose it if your deference to rich folk and thinking that these rich folk have your best interest at heart is going to be a dagger in your back. Just watch. If you don't believe me, you don't believe me, just watch. They don't view themselves, they don't have a country. The rise of the new plutocracy is inextricably connected to two phenomena: the revolution in information technology and the liberalization of global trade. Individual nations have offered their own contributions to income inequality, financial deregulation, and upper bracket tax cuts in the United States. Insider privatization in Russia, rent seeking in regulated industries in India and Mexico. But the shared narrative is that thanks to globalization and technological innovation, people, money, and ideas travel more freely than ever before. Yes, they're telling you, listen, they're telling you, white folk, listen, they're telling you that there are no such things as borders. And of course he waited till Trump got elected to let you know that you've been conned. Yes. Now the question becomes, what are you going to do about it? And you can't do anything about it if you just look up to rich people because they're rich. You all have an adoration. The right has an adoration and a fetishization with rich folk. I know we have some of that too, black celebrity, but you all have it, and it is insane. The way you all run up behind Elon and just praise him and worship him is the most insane thing I have ever seen in my life. And he plays you. He played you. And he said the blacks, everybody was a slave, and here come the woke. And yeah, what happened? It's not just about Soros. You know what's funny? It's very interesting to me that how the whites can talk about Soros and not understand that Elon Musk is a different version of that. Like they can talk about, oh, Soros. Yeah, Soros. I'm the first to say that's a problem. Soros does the same thing that Elon does. He's transnational. He's moving, feeling. He does the same thing, but he's just more to the left. But one thing Soros and Elon Musk have in common is that they don't believe in borders. They don't believe in borders. Well, what do you mean? What does that mean? It means that you gotta fight these people. That's what it means. It means that you got to fight them. And the right doesn't seem poised. They get it, but I don't think they understand. They keep calling Elon like, oh, Elon's a leftist. No, he's a rich man. He's a plutocrat. He's a transnationalist billionaire. He was never going to like you. He was never going to be your friend. He was never going to have your best interest at heart. He doesn't view countries as something that matters. He views countries as antiquated. You have to own that the same way I have owned that George Soros is a problem. George Soros, who turned 80, I think he passed. Didn't he pass? Did he not? Child, I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to say nobody dead and ain't dead. Because I know his son took over. So that's what I've been. He's probably still with. I don't know. This was a while ago in the 2011 article. A model for the socially engaged billionaire, arguably the most successful investor of the post-war era. He is nonetheless proudest of his Open Society Foundation, through which he has spent billions of dollars on issues as diverse as marijuana legalization, civil society in Central Eastern Europe, and rethinking economic assumption in the wake of the financial crisis. Yeah, he also this is all to me hiding behind open borders, because his biggest thing has always been open borders. And he and Elon are the same. It's always just blows my mind that the right will go, George Soros, and not understand Elon is the same. The biggest thing that impacts your life in terms of borders, he and Elon are exactly the same. So now what you gonna do? You gonna barbecue or mildew? That's the only question. That really is the only question. That really is the only question. Y'all think the millionaires are going to lead the populist revolt? I got news for you. I like the way y'all stood up, though. I hope you still stay standing. But stop making it about black and white. It's about American versus non-American. Stop trying to pull us out of the conversation. Right? Because that's what happens a lot too. Well, I'm going see, the problem, they don't want to hire nobody white. No, we don't have, as ADOS, we don't have any say. We don't get hired in tech either. But you all, listen, race for the right wing has been their blind side. And if it continues to be your blind side, you're not going to make it either. We all just going to fall because of your bias. Because of your bias, we can't ever combine forces and say, let's take care of this first. We can't ever do that because you just like, no, I don't like Negroes. Stop that. If you don't stop that, listen, you're going to fall too. We're at a point where you fall too. You ain't never felt like this. You ain't never had these Indians talking to you like they talking to you. Ooh, they talking to you all kinds of. Vivek Ramaswamy came out and said, y'all watch Saved by the Bell, and that's why you stupid. And you ain't never been treated this way. They all over the internet talking about how white people are mediocre. We ain't never said that. Y'all have talked trash about us. We have never said that. If we're going to be American, we're going to be American. But if we not, y'all going to fall too. You may not see it yet, and that's okay. But it's coming. Right? Before I go, another loser for this time has been black jobs. Let me just say, Trump said the immigrants taking black jobs. Negroes and the boule said there's no such thing as a black job. Now Trump is talking about closing the post office, and now they're saying that's a black job. You said it wasn't no black job, though. Child, I'm so tired of these people. Woo. It's been a bad year. It's been a bad year for the gatekeepers. It's been a bad year for black jobs. It's going to be a worse year next year. Ain't nothing I can do about it. But listen, fam, those are my top winners and some losers. If you have some others that you would like to add, please feel free to call in. I'll leave the phones open I'll set up the phones. Give me a little while. Take a quick break, and we can have the conversation. But white folk, y'all got to get together because, child, We ain't never talked about you the way these Indians came over here. Ooh, y'all talk to us that way. They started talking to white folk about IQ and told them their IQ wasn't good enough. Then the white folks started saying IQ is astrology. Well, dang, y'all didn't say it was astrology when you were trying to accuse us of having 85 IQ. Oh, my, how the tables have turned. Won't God do it and show you where you're at? Oh, anyway, fam, let me take a break. I'll be right back and we will have the conversation. All right, family, we are back. We are back. We are back. I am going to go to a couple of calls. I'm surprised to get any calls at 5 o'clock, but I'm going to a couple of calls. 617, what's up?
Hey, that is Reggie. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Reggie. We made it.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
yeah, we made it. I tell you who didn't make it. I don't know if y'all talked about it on part one, but Angela Rye is definitely the biggest loser for me.
Oh yeah, part one we got Angela Wright. Yeah, she's my friend Kamala didn't get elected. Yeah, child, you banked. Yeah, okay.
I felt like she was going to be the biggest loser after that whooping Jill Stein and Bush Ware gave her.
Ooh,
105.
Wasn't that ugly?
When I saw that, I was like, I think Angela just synced this whole thing because she really reflects how the gatekeepers and the pundits were all treating the Democratic voters and the black voters especially. And I'm like, okay, if they go down this path, Kamala loses. Because ain't nobody gonna, like, no populist-minded person is going to bash someone like that. I mean, you can have your reasons for hating Jill Stein in terms of viability, but when she spits out the policy, if you don't have a counter for that and all you have is Russia, biggest loser.
Well, you know what? And another problem before you go on, Reggie, was that I felt like Angela Rye doesn't know politics. I mean, I'm talking about policy. Like, I feel like even if you don't like Stein, you could have gone into some of the things that we have talked about here in terms of like what his FEC, whatever. You could have gone into that if you had known. I felt like she also came unprepared. You just can't go into rooms with attitude. And I say that as somebody who didn't vote for Kamala. Like I did not, and I did not vote for Kamala Harris. But you could have defended her a lot better than, and then Joe Biden a lot better than Angela Rye did in that room. They're just not competent people.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. And completely incompetent. But I would say for winner, I know you said that you and ADOS have won, but I feel that you're the biggest winner because of what happened this past week and just the way that everybody is struggling with questions and ideas and data that you were dealing with a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you are one of the biggest winners for 2024 because everything that you've talked about in terms of H-1Bs, in terms of immigration, in terms of
Indians in America, the other 1%, that's a book club.
Yeah, the 1%, like you really called all of it, and I would just encourage everybody that if you haven't done it, I've done it, so maybe I should throw myself in as the biggest winner, because what I did is I went back to the beginning, like a while back, and just said, let me go through all of Yvette's videos on this topic and others, like go all the way back to 2016 and just start over, and you can be the biggest winner too.
I appreciate you, Reggie. And listen, for all of y'all, we released a statement about H-1Bs. Please read the statement. It's on my Twitter. It's on our website, adosfoundation.org. And I also want you all not to let these people get off, these other black organizations. Hey, tweet the NAACP, Urban League, all these people asking, what is your position on this H-1B controversy? Like, they are trying to just kind of wait this thing out. And this is a labor issue. This is not just a right-wing. This is a labor issue. Have them take a stand on this. If you know any ADOS or black organization that is not talking about this, force them to take a stand on it. They don't get to sit this out. You don't get to lead if you sit out in this moment. Screw that.
I absolutely agree with that, and I think this is a good time to reach out to your congressperson and your senator and let them know how you feel about it too, and use the ADOS statement as a guide.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Appreciate you, Reg. And like Reggie said, I do think everybody should reach out to their congressperson. Like Reggie said too, you can use the ADOS statement that was just released as your guide, as kind of like your Crip notes as to why you have a problem with it. But you got to reach out to them. This is the call to action. Like I said, it's up on adosfoundation.org. It's also up on my Twitter account. So if you have, I tweeted it like yesterday. So that as well. No, nobody gets to, this is a labor issue. We're not going to be replaced. Get somewhere and sit down. No. Going now to 267. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm sorry. Give me a second here.
Okay.
I'm sorry that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I wanted to point out something that's been going on. And this is a big, huge elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
It's been going on for a while. And it ties to everything you've been talking about, too. Hold on, Joshy. I'm talking for a minute. Sorry, that's my little one.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, back when they started... hello?
I'm
Can
here.
you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So back when they started outsourcing to international call centers, there has been a scam that's been going on for people in India, and they've been scamming like senior citizens with money in America,
Ooh.
like in the Western world, but in the United States, it's wild. It's been like this big thing. And like, how come you like never hear about it mainstream? No one's just going to talk about this. Like if there was like some sort of black ADOS scam call center thing, you wouldn't be able to hear the end of it. It's been going on since like easily the 80s or 90s. You probably heard of it here and there, and you may have seen a special news report. But it's like these elaborate phone scams, and like they wiped out hundreds of millions of dollars from American citizens. And there's a guy, Kis Boga, on YouTube, and he's somebody that's like trying to fight against it and tries to help people get their money back, but it's crazy.
It's a lot of them little scams, though. I saw something that was making fun of it it's a lot of them little scams, like what they call the old people. Hello, I am. They don't. I'm not trying to make fun of them, but that's what they say, right? I am, and they try to get them to get a bank. I didn't see the one you're talking about, but it's a bunch of them.
But there's a lot of these. It'll be like a skyrise in some Indian place in some place in India, and it's a scam call center.
Yeah.
Like, and you know that's what it is. And like people just like how back in the day when we worked at call centers for Sears here in the United States, like it's a scam call center, and they just go there and work a 9 to 5 or 8 to 11. It's crazy. We're just not going to talk about that. Like what is being like Kamala Harris and Vivek Ramaswamy are both Brahmini Indian. No one wants to talk about that?
No. They don't want to. They don't want to talk about how they're the same. They don't want to talk about it.
How come they never discuss, like, y'all never discuss back home? Y'all don't want to talk about the caste system. You don't want to talk about
they want to tell us how to do a meritocracy in America. They don't want to talk about the caste system that their parents ran away from, right? Or their parent ran away from. Your parent left this caste system, but you want to tell me how to do it over here, and your mama them never did it over there? Go fix it. Listen, India has a caste system. Go fix it.
Home. I'm with you. Everybody, go fix home, and then you can tell me something. If you're at home and you're there working on a problem that's going on in your home and you want to give me some advice, I will hear you, but not if you in my front lawn telling me, girl, bye.
Yeah, you don't. Well, I feel.
In my front lawn telling me.
Well, I honestly feel like, and this is the first time I'm saying it, I honestly feel like part of the strategy we need to have, I feel like they need to amend the Constitution. I don't even feel like you should be able to be president as a natural born citizen. I think you need to have at least one parent and one grandparent. If not one great grandparent and one great grandparent who were natural born citizens in America. Because one lifetime is not enough for you to understand America and everything that comes with it. And most of y'all don't even try to learn. So like, that's not enough. You have to be anchored to this country in lineage and not just like, hey, I was born here. We have to figure out a way to fix that too, because this is just too much. And I saw the scam. One of the scams was run in America though. One of those scams was here. They had this whole thing where these people ran into the scam place in America and the people scattered. I remember it was a whole little documentary about it. But like most of them are, like you say, over there. But some of them is here and we don't even talk about it. Do you understand? Like if ADOS was running that kind of scam, we'd be all over TV as just little scammers running stuff.
Sure would. Then our names would be drugged through the mud. Everyone would be saying, you don't trust them. They're scammers. You know?
Yep. ADOS is scammers. Yep.
All of us, and we all got to look at our kids and watch our sons in quarters like how we got to do now. It's ridiculous.
Yep. And you have to find, appreciate you, fam. I thank you so much for calling in. I think what has to happen in terms of what I'm talking about is that you have to, it's not just about the fact that citizenship matters. It does. But multi-generational citizenship matters most. And the people who should be leading this country should be multi-generationally attached to America. That's just what I'm seeing. So, because most of the time people don't come here and decide they want to just get invested in books about history and learn about America, right? And it may be the case that, just like I said, one lifetime is not enough for you to do that. Because I didn't learn about America just through books. I learned about America through, through my aunties and great aunts and grandmama and great granddaddy and scrapbooks. And this was grandpa this, and this was grandmama this, and this was them on the sharecropper farm. This was them I learned about that through information being passed down to me. And when you talk about a country that is as powerful as America, you have to understand America. And I don't think you can understand America through books. You have to understand America through lineage. So you have to kind of be third or fourth generation to really kind of get a context of what this country is and what this country has been. So that's just kind of where I am. Y'all can let me know. 215, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Yeah, okay, so we're going to hit it quick. Biggest losers, Corinne, the White House press secretary, and the blue media, they had her looking like she looking crazy.
They had her lying. They had her lying. You said he wasn't never gonna pardon his son. What'd you say about that? Well, I don't know. I chicken grease. I don't know. Shit.
She might not have been lying. She might just gotta know. She just been that far out the loop that she ain't know. She ain't know he wasn't gonna step down. She ain't know he wasn't gonna. They just had her looking crazy.
I would leave if I was her. I wouldn't even stay there to get the check. I'd leave. I'd resign in protest. It's a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what the backup is for her, but she might be put in a position where she's financially stable or in a solid financial position. But yeah, I would have had to.
Well, fam, I hate to be messy, but her and her wife broke up. It was Suzanne Malveaux from CNN, and they was together. They not together no more. So if you ain't got two incomes, you might not be able to break up with the White House.
Yeah, she truly is the biggest loser. I was going to say, and the blue media, because they was looking crazy too, and they all gone. They know that they're about to roll out. Joy Reid and Roland Martin. And that whole crew, they about to be extra stage left. And I'm going to say the biggest winner, even though they're probably going to end up losing, but the biggest winner, illegal immigrants. Now, we know that Trump is in now. He's probably going to get rid of it, and they situation is going to change drastically. But for 2024, they racked up on all that free money, all those benefits, and they came up. Hopefully, hopefully for them, they would send some of that money back home to where they from, because they might be going back there.
They got to tax that too, fam. They got to tax that too. They got to start taxing remittance. If you say you're American, let's tax that remittance, at least 50%.
And I'm gonna let you go because I really enjoy these, but. That's one of the problems that I have against when people say that they are against reparations. We're not sending no money nowhere. When we give reparations, that money is going into the American economy because we are Americans, as opposed to that money going to everybody else and it's being remitted back to where they're from. But thank you for your work this year. The conference was successful. I think the movement is growing. Adolf is definitely a winner. We were a winner last year. I called it last year, said Adolf was a winner. That's why I didn't want to repeat it. But we definitely a winner this year. You and Tone, the work, the movement that you guys started is growing. It's going to be...
People finally catching on. That's the only thing that's happening. People finally catching on. I hate being early. People are finally catching on. But I agree with you, fam.
I'm like, all right, Happy New Year.
All right, you have a good one. Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, child, that was a mess, that whole little split they had. They didn't talk about it. It just showed up on one little blurb online. But y'all know I scour the interweb. So I see everything. What? What they got? Oh, I thought they was the bee's knees of the lesbian community. Now they broke up? Yep. So she might not have the money to walk away like that. But anyway, let me go to my next call. 862-862. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Yvette.
What's up?
Biggest loser.
Yeah, who is that? Who is the biggest loser?
The biggest loser 2024 would be, well, it's a tag team.
Who was it?
Al Sharpton.
Who's Al Sharp tag team with? Who?
Al Sharpton, Roland Martin.
Oh, yeah. Roland lost when he said Biden's not stepping down. He is not stepping down. That was it. That's over. It's over after that.
Oh. And so it was so tragic to watch them beg and plead, and the Democrats had $2 billion and they barely got $1 million. They did all that caping, all that lying, all that shaming, all that finger wagging, all that Kamala Harris is the second coming of the Christ, and it went bust.
That's true.
They had to eat crow. Al was running around here talking about, she was the this and she was the that and she was the best choice. But Al, you forgot to tell us that you got $500,000 out the deal. That's why you're telling us this. And then when that came out, now you don't want to release no statement. Now you ain't got nothing to say. You done ran back into your hovel.
Not the hovel.
Church. Yeah, I mean, listen, the biggest winners was all of the white media companies that got all that. But Beyonce got $1 million. They say, I don't know, I wasn't there, wasn't in the room. But you mean Beyonce came out and gave a 5-minute statement and got twice as much money as you?
Oh,
You can't write this stuff. These jokes write themselves. It's tragic to watch these media,
tragedy,
media guys that
tragedy.
don't understand politics flounder.
It's bad. It's real bad out there. I agree with you. Who the winners is?
The winners was ADOS. And I'm going to tell you why. The delineation movement is in full swing. Right now, Fat Joe is imploded. He done ran into the ADOS buzzsaw, even though it's under the.
Why y'all leave that man got mismatched legs and y'all messing with him? They on the wrong hips and y'all messing with that man. That's a shame. That's a shame.
He thought he could come out here and say some stuff. And ADOS stood up and said, "Hold up, no, bro, you can't just come out here saying stuff now. You can't just come out here using all that Negro talking points that you was using back in the 90s, and that stuff ain't gonna float now. Now we know who we are, and you're not gonna be able to grift off of the ADOS people any longer. I think the album sales is in the toilet, Fat Joe. What are we doing? Your album?
Fat Joe is. Let me just tell you the truth. Fat Joe is the least of my worries. Shout out to everybody who wants to go at Fat Joe, but my biggest thing is politics.
I'm not saying Fat Joe's relevant.
Okay.
But it's a marker. It's a marker that the beacon has been seen. People can see the light now. We got a bunch of grifters in here. Ramaswamy, he's another grifter. And Kamala, she paid the price. All of these are evidence that the beacon is up. You're not going to just come in here and identity politic us anymore. You're not going to come in here and identify as us and not have any lineage to us.
I got you, fam.
That's what's going on right now.
I got you, fam. You got a last word for me?
By a lot.
You got a last word for me before you go?
The last word is 2025 is going to be very difficult for people to grift now. It's not going to go easy. You're going to have to make a statement of who you are, where you come from, where your people came from. And if it ain't ADOS and it ain't got no foundation in America, you're going to have a problem.
I agree, fam. I appreciate you.
We're not going for the same old grift again.
I appreciate you. You have a happy new year. Please be safe, bro. I appreciate you. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you. And I saw somebody in the chat say that Marilyn Mosby should be pardoned. I agree. For those who don't know, Marilyn Mosby, really, I feel like she was targeted. You know, with for standing up. You remember that whole incident in Baltimore? Everybody knows it. I feel like she was targeted for standing up and saying the whole world hears you now when she was talking to ADOS. I feel like she has honestly been prosecuted for she filled out some paperwork and said her then husband is going to give her $5,000, and they're saying the $5,000 didn't come from him. And that's fraud. That's just targeting somebody. You shouldn't even be able to prosecute nobody over that. So I do believe Biden should pardon her. I don't know if he will. You know, obviously Biden can pardon the son who got his brother's widow hooked on crack. But he doesn't want to pardon this lady. So I think she absolutely should be pardoned. I agree with whoever said Marilyn Mosby should be pardoned 100%. That whole Freddie Gray House. Like I agree with you 100%. She never should have been prosecuted in the first place. And that was just targeting. So I'm absolutely with you. Going now to 470. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
What's going on? My name is Louis Landon, LD for short.
What's going on? How you doing?
From Louisville, grew up in Atlanta.
Speak up just a little bit for me.
I said I'm originally from Louisville, but I grew up in Atlanta.
Okay, go ahead. What's on your mind? Uh-huh.
So I got a two-part first question, because this is what I've been thinking about for like the past few months. Because what you said earlier, could you say, is it safe to say this is like, because I know America don't have friends. It's safe to say that America don't really have, doesn't have friends. Could you say that what's going on right now is almost like a takeover by way of, of other foreign entities outside of America that's trying to infiltrate America, or by way of using the racism that white people have for black people? Because I was listening to Stephen A's podcast. He was talking to Sean Hannity. I think it was like 13,000 of them that they can't find. The people that they let in, the illegal ones or whatever. They just let 13,000, or I don't know how many there is. They let them in here and don't know what them is. So is it kind of looking like a possible takeover or maybe possible terrorist attack?
No, I'm not saying a terrorist thing doesn't happen, but I think what's really happening is that the people who run the world have decided that nations are a thing of the past, right? Like they have decided that there's no such thing as countries, and countries don't matter. Like not only does like your culture not matter, whatever, countries are a thing of the past. That you have to have mobility with other countries. Countries need to be able, people in countries need to be able to come and go, and labor needs to be able to come into different countries and compete with the people in your country. And they will tell you, like, read Plutocrats. Like, read that book, Plutocrats, from 2013. That book tells you that these ultra rich people say we don't see any difference between a poor person in China and a poor person in India and a poor person in America. We don't have any kind of deference or affection for any of them, even if they come from a country that we come from. They don't believe that countries should exist anymore. And they've told you that a long time. The only reason that people on the right didn't hear is because they were so invested in racism. They were so invested in affirmative action and making sure that ADOS didn't get anything, that they lost sight of the real thing that was happening, which was the plutocrats taking over. But there are people now who don't believe in countries, and they've decided that how we're going to deal with climate change, how we're going to deal with American imperialism, and what America has done to enrich itself, not us, and not regular people, is to just have them come in here and compete with the people on the bottom, and the people on the top benefit, right? And it's great for their wages. They have made us into a what do you call it? A temporary agency where you're finding work for people as opposed to a country. And they did that in full sight of everybody. I screamed about it when the book came out. Hey, this is a problem. And the right said, shut up, you're a Negro, right? And so I don't think that it's nefarious. I think that they have just decided that these poor people, they want poor people to move everywhere because it lowers the wages everywhere. If you have poor people from the third world moving over here and moving over there, then the wages get lowered everywhere, and that's great for rich folk. And I think that's the main thing that it's about.
Okay. Second question. Now, I called you before. I'm still trying to understand. Because like I said, I like to listen. You know what I'm saying? I try to get both sides of the coin. And I was like this way before, any foundation, American, ADOS movement. Me personally, I really am trying to understand the importance of voting. If we are not getting anything, we know we're not getting anything out of it. What is, like, even with the Rosewood, Tulsa, like, we never really was backed by any form of government. Like, I mean, yes, you could point it out, but we knew they wasn't really on our side. So what is the exact benefit for, black people, the foundation, the ADOS people?
I don't talk about none foundation because that's a clone of ADOS. The importance of voting is this. Do you see what I've talked some smack about conservatives and conservative white folk right now, but do you see what they're doing? Right now, they are saying, we voted for you and we voted for this and we're not going to take it no more. The importance of voting is to put somebody in office who is accountable to you. And you can say, I did this, and before that, you owe me this, right? The problem with Democrats is that we put people in office. We don't do the other part. We don't say, we put you in office based on these things, and you have changed these things, and we're about to revolt. Listen, I don't know who Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk they playing with, but these white folk don't play, right? I feel like January 6th was an attempted coup. I do. But they was out there. And some of them had weapons and handcuffs. Y'all can play with these people if you want to. What I'm saying is that voting is only a part of the political process. You have to also determine what is going to be voted on, right? And then once that happens and the people who start saying, hey, I want to go a different direction, you have to find a way to hold them accountable. The conservatives have taken over social media over the past week since Christmas. You can't get anything but H1B talk because they're telling you we're not going to take this. The problem is we don't ever do the other part. We don't do the part that comes before, and we don't do we're not going to take this part. So if you just vote and you don't do nothing else, yeah, you're going to get trash. That's just what it is. You have to do all of the other parts of politics that make voting work. There's a lot of stuff that makes voting work. It don't work just over itself. Like, it's just like if you get a screw and you throw it at a box, you throw it at some wood, what'd that do? No, the screw doesn't work right. The screwdriver and the other pieces of wood and other screws, that's how you put together the box. Voting is just a screwdriver. It does not work without all of the other elements. And so that's where we fall short with all of the other elements of politics in the political space. It's not just about voting. Voting is a necessary part, but it's not just about voting. And so you should not be voting the couch. And if anybody tells you that they're stupid, and I'll tell them to their face that they're stupid. It's all right. I don't mind telling somebody they're stupid. I think they're stupid all the time.
So even if there isn't, like, Jill Stein, I didn't see anybody to necessarily vote for. So in what direction? Because, okay, yes, the couch. So you don't feel like the couch was necessary in order to expose? No, the couch means you sleepy. The couch means you sleepy. That's all the couch means, right? Because so who we voting for?
Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Let me just say this: when policymakers decide what they're going to do, like in the next session, the next Congress, and everything that happens, I'm not even going to talk about how you have to vote locally, because you live in a local, you live in state, you have to vote for those people too. And you should show up just for them. But I'm not even going to talk about that. When they talk about, when Congress people talk about how they're going to show up, they look at who voted. So even if you voted and you voted third party, they know you showed up. If you don't show up, you know what they're going to say? The blacks ain't showing up. We got to go find some more Latinos. Oh, the blacks ain't showing up. These ADOS people, they're not showing up. We got to go find some more white working class people. Like, if you don't show up, they go find other people. They don't search for you because you didn't show up. They go find other people who did show up. And they say, we're going to talk to them. It's better to show. Go ahead.
So you're saying that's why they don't have an agenda for us, is because we don't know?
No, they don't have an agenda for us because we don't understand accountability. Like, we do, enough of us voted. Like, we don't understand what it means to be accountable. We don't understand. We would never do what the Republicans are doing right now. The right wing right now with the Trumpers and the Trump supporters right now are giving Trump hell right now. They are giving Trump hell in the media. They are giving him hell online. They're everywhere. We would never do that. That's why nobody takes us seriously. Whenever we get somebody elected, we say, well, it's going to take him a long time. George W. Bush took a long time to mess stuff up. So Obama is going to take a long time to fix it. No, when he gets in there and you give him a clear agenda, which we did not. When you give him a clear agenda, when you give somebody a clear agenda, hey, we want this, and they say, I'm going to do this, and they don't do it, your job is to say, no, this is not what I voted for, and we're going to scream to the high heavens, and we're going to take care of this however we deem fit, right? We don't do that. We could learn a lot from how Republicans and conservatives are reacting to Trump and Vivi Ramaswamy right now. They don't care. They're going at them.
So reparations wasn't a big conversation during this whole election?
No, a big conversation? No, I don't think it was a conversation at all. Kamala never even gave us a black agenda, much less reparations. And you know it wasn't going to come from Trump, so no.
Well, I know she wasn't a part of it. You know, I'm saying like as far as like the people on the ground, like that was screaming reparations. That wasn't. You don't feel like that was a part of, like, they didn't hear that is what you're saying? Like, or are you saying it's like, it has to be like a totality of years to come?
No, you can't have 700 people at the Capitol screaming reparations and think it means something. That was stupid. That was dumb. But you followed a high school dropout to the Capitol. So what can I say? Like the Congress wasn't even in session. Look, when MLK went to the March on Washington, he had 250,000 people there. That got attention. You're not going to get attention with a clown on stage jumping around saying, we demand it right now. That's not how it works. You have to do what we're doing in terms of go state to state, city to city, chapter to chapter, and talk to people about why it's necessary and build a critical mass. No, nobody hears your 700 people. No, if it was that much. I don't even know if it was that much. It might have been 500. I don't know. But nobody hears that. No. That's not a critical mass. That's just somebody who wants to sell you things and do GoFundMe's. That's not going to work. No.
So, last question. So you're saying, okay, and excuse me for not knowing, so Martin Luther King, has there always been anything that we ever voted for that actually came? Because I don't recall anything us voting for anything and it actually become into some fruition for examples of what I'm trying to say.
The Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, all of that stuff was stuff we had wanted for a very long time coming to fruition. Like since you mentioned King, I'll just leave it right there. That's a lot of stuff that we have voted for coming to fruition. All of the Fair Housing Act and all of that stuff is stuff that we wanted coming to fruition through politics. The problem is we ain't king today. We are the laziest electorate who need the most. We cannot afford to be as lazy as we is. If you vote the couch, I would kick you off the couch. I would kick you out of my house if you live with me and you didn't vote. Stay on the street. It's okay.
So I'm saying, I'm clear. We voted all that stuff in is what you're saying.
What?
I'm just trying to get an understanding because,
What'd you say?
I'm saying we voted for all that stuff, the housing act and all this. Is what I'm saying. What the stuff you just
yeah. We fought for that. We fought for that and we finally got it. Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I'm gonna do some more research on it. I've just been researching like crazy, trying to understand everything. So, but okay, that's all the question I had.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate the show.
All right now. Bye bye.
All right.
All you folks who think that you gonna get what you want through, I don't know. Lord, I don't know. And it's not just voting. Voting is just like the minimum you can do. Voting is the minimum. You should be doing so much more than voting. You got kids. You got people you love who are also adults. You should be doing so much more than voting. Like anybody who is in this chat right now who is not a member of the Adults Advocacy Foundation, I don't know what you're doing. I really don't. I don't. 203, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, Yvette, what's going on?
Not too much. What's up with you?
Hey, Yvette, this conversation, I've been having this conversation with another YouTuber. I've been slowly trying to get him to see the light. Well, it's like a lot of FBA, a lot of ADOS.
Child, please don't mention Flex's bank account on my live. Please don't. I can't take it.
So, I'm just like a lot of black folks in America don't really know the gravity of the situation they're in. But let me just mention one statistic. By 2065, according to Pew Research, blacks would still be 13% of the population, right? Asians will be 18% of the population. Hispanics will be 25%, and non-Hispanic whites will be 43%. I don't think black folks realize what's going to happen by that time, because by 2050, the median black wealth will be down to zero.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're talking about Latinos, the thing people don't understand about Latinos is that they don't really understand that Latino people are more racist a lot of times in comparison to regular white folks in America.
Hold on. Wait right there, fam. Wait right there. There was a Pew Research poll from a while back that showed that Latinos said that something to the effect that people are imagining racism, right?
I'm about to touch on that real quick.
Go ahead.
The thing people have to understand about Latinos is because a lot of black folks don't read. If you read Gonzalez, you understand the way the Spanish handled the colonial situation in South America. At the time, the Spanish Empire was in decline, and they couldn't afford to keep sending troops to quash Native and black rebellions in South America. So they couldn't handle the race situation the way the British handled it. So the British, they segregated the blacks and just annihilated the Native people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Spanish decided something that they were going to do something called casta, a caste system, where they would let the Spanish soldiers and Spanish people there mix with the Native people, and there would be a caste system, and depending on how light your skin was, that would determine your position in society. A hard caste system. And I'm going to talk about caste in relation to South Indians as well, and why a lot of Indians have been allowed into the country, but that's a separate topic. People with the Spanish people. The thing people have to understand is, even within the white Spaniards that were in South America, there was a caste between them. So if you were white and you were born in Spain, you held the highest positions in the land. You were known as peninsulari, right? And if you were white and you were born in South America, in Cuba, in Latin America, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, you were called criollo. You held the second highest position. Then there's mestizo. Mestizo is the mixture between the white Spanish people and Native people, the few ones that they didn't kill, because the Spanish and the British killed about 156 million Native people through disease and warfare. So then maybe they have like a little bit of African blood, maybe 2 to 5%. Now the thing people have to understand is Native people from South America don't look like Eva Mendes. They don't look like John Leguizamo. They don't look at all these like Latino people that you see. Mm-hmm. Every Latino person that you see that looks light-skinned is a product of rape. 2 types of rape. Direct forceful rape between the Spanish soldiers that raped Native women before the Catholic Church intervened and helped create the caste system, or coercive rape. So the coercive rape has to do with, you want to be a doctor, your skin has to be light-skinned. If you want to be a surgeon, if you want to be a professor at university, like black folks are complaining here. If you go to Brazil, and this is a problem, a lot of black folks, they don't read, they don't travel. If you go to Brazil and South America, you don't see black people driving cars. There are no black people on the television sets. Like, if you go to Mexico, it's all European. But I don't think people understand the level of, like, Latinos don't have a culture outside racism. Racism and white supremacy is their culture. From a very young age, they tell their children to seek out white people and breed with them. They call it Mahora La Raza. You get what I'm saying? The problem is these black folks don't read, they don't know anything.
Hey, hey fam, somebody said drop a book. Somebody said drop a book. When you talk about reading, somebody said drop a good book.
Hold on, let me put Gonzalez, Spanish Empire, hold on, let me see. It's been a while since I read the book.
Take your time.
I just didn't remember the name of the author.
You can look it up.
Let's see. I'm pulling it up right now.
Y'all know I can always talk. Why he's looking it up?
Okay, so author Juan and Miguel Gonzalez, the date is 1698. Series of the Conquest of Mexico collection, Harvest of Empire.
Okay.
Hold on. The Harvest of Empire, A History of Latinos in America by Juan Gonzalez.
Juan
You
Gonzalez.
guys can check it out.
Okay.
Hello?
I'm here.
Yes. So like, let me make it even clearer, as Antonio would say, right? When the Nazis lost in World War II, they fled to Latin America. Latin American countries, Chile, Brazil, and Argentina especially, took them in. Hit a lot of them. There are some places you go to in Argentina where it looks like a Bavarian countryside, like a German countryside, because a lot of Nazis went there. In Chile, there's this place called Colonial Dignidad, where I can't remember, it's a high-ranking Nazi. After he fled Germany, he went there, he sexually molested about 100 or something native children.
Oof.
And like he was inserting like hot iron in their vaginas and all kinds of. It's called Colonial Dignidad. You could pull it up on YouTube. There are documentaries on it. In Argentina, they literally like I think Eichmann and a bunch of them. I think Eichmann fled to Argentina. It's a whole bunch of them. Like people don't realize who these people are. Like they don't have. They're not. How is the best way for me to say it? Because like I'm lost for words. But they don't have a culture outside of racism. Racism is their culture. Like they brutalize their own people, the native people. If the Native Americans, the few ones that are remaining, they brutalize the shit out of them. In Argentina and all these South American countries, right? Talk less about how they treat black people. Like people complain in America about police brutality. All the black deaths at the hand of police, right? One favela in Brazil has 5x the amount per month. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like if you took all the maybe it's like 400 black people a year get killed by police, whatever, right? Multiply that. That is just the amount of black people that get killed by police in one favela in Brazil. Because you're looking at a very, very racialized. You got to understand something. Europe, Latino people, they don't have a concept of greatness outside whiteness. They don't have what black people are. Hello?
No, I said they don't have a concept of greatness outside of whiteness. That's a word. You still there, fam? Hello? Hello? Oh, he dropped. Oh, well, yeah, that was a word, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I think like somebody said in the chat, we had Operation Paperclip too. We took in our own Nazis, but I'm gonna go to one more call. I'm going to go to 973. 973. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hello, my name is Jermaine Stafford. How you doing?
What's going on, Jermaine?
Yeah, long-time listener, but this is the first time I've ever called in. So I loved your win and losses. Definitely agree with the Elon Musk winners on there. But I just have a quick question as we look into the new year. What is and maybe since I am pretty new to the community, I'm still trying to figure out, what do we need to be doing to mobilize to try to, push things in the right direction. I mean, I feel you can't help but to be a little bit, I don't know, a little down by just kind of how things are progressing. And so, you know, I mean, do some of us need to like run for politics? Do we need to?
No, I think everybody needs. Listen. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it till I'm blue in the face. But I think everybody needs to join ADOSFoundation.org. I think everybody needs to become a member. And I think, you know, depending on where you are, we have done a good job of rolling out chapters. We still have some more that are to come. You know, this year was probably rolling out like 3 or 4. And we are going to find ways this year too, even if you are not a part of a chapter, we're going to find ways that you can be helpful. Right. We're a very connected world. So there's no reason why, if you are a member in Washington somewhere, you should not be able to help with an effort in Alabama, New York, Mississippi, Georgia, whatever. So we are going to make that possible for people. But it should be no surprise that I view the foundation that I founded as the vehicle to do a lot of the stuff that we need to do.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely will get involved. I mean, you definitely inspired me for 2025 to get involved, and you know, shout out to the community. I live in New Jersey, and so.
Oh, you got a chapter already. You got people. You ain't got no problem.
So I just need to. Then I'll just make a point. My goal in 2025 is to get connected there. So.
Well, yeah, join. You're going. Once you join, you'll be looped in. So yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, fam. Yeah, I think you know, the thing is, and that's the last call for today, fam. I appreciate everybody who called in, but I couldn't get to everybody. And I'm got to get out of here. But Happy New Year to y'all who are on the line waiting. I can't get to you. But I think, you know, I had somebody else ask me like a similar question, which was like, what do we do? And it's just kind of like, dude, like I can kind of understand that if you joined ADOS, like if you join ADOS Foundation and you pay the membership fee, because that's the cost. That's the cost to not have something that's run by white folk. Like you have to pay for it. Like just like you pay for, you know, like it's just like you pay for Netflix. You have to pay for your politics. It's not no exorbitant fee, but like that is the cost. And people say, what do we do? And it's just like, you're looking at me as if you're looking at somebody who like isn't running an organization that is charged with doing just that. You have to join and then become a part of the process. Now the process is not sleek and just like this sophisticated thing where you're going to be on the runway or nothing. Advocacy and organizing is kind of grunt work. That's what we do. Most of the stuff we do, you don't see, but it still has to be done. And I don't see anybody out there other than us who are doing it. So like, join us. I guess is the thing that I'm saying. So anyway, fam, I appreciate y'all. You still have time to have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful new year. I'm finna go grab something to eat. But listen, please keep it easy breezy. Please don't bother nobody in this new year. Please don't be out too late. And you know, hey, you here, we here. That's all we got. Okay. So I will see you in, 2025? We're looking forward to, I'll see you in 2025, fam. Please keep it easy breezy. Let nobody bother you, and enjoy your new year. Okay. Enjoy your new year. Your libations, whatever you do, enjoy it. I'll see you next time.